Okay, I want to now give a brief introduction to the structure of the atom. So to begin with, we have really an atom. There are only three types of particles in an atom. There are really only three things that make up an atom. There are protons, neutrons, and electrons. So, protons, so these first two are about the same size, and then electrons are much smaller. So protons have a positive charge. Neutrons, as you can kind of guess when you, if you're beginning of this, looks like neutral. So they don't have any charge, so they're neutrally charged. Neutron. And then finally, electrons have a negative charge. And that's pretty much it. The three particles that we have within an atom. So now, where are these? So if we were to zoom in on an atom, where would we find these different particles? So in the middle, and this is just kind of a rough representation. Middle of the atom, or the nucleus, is where we have the protons and neutrons. And the electrons are zipping all around the protons and electrons in the nucleus. So this is not to scale at all, but you'll have the electrons out, say maybe in this area here. And again, that's not to scale. Where the electrons are is actually much farther out, but that's more just to give you an idea that protons and neutrons in the middle, electrons on the outside. So protons, remember, positive charge, so we usually use a plus. Electrons, negative. And then sometimes you might see a 0, just to indicate no charge. So that's just to note that positive charge, negative charge. And one way that we see these written also, just to kind of show you some of the convention, is protons we do a P and a plus. Neutrons, an N and a 0. And electrons, as you might guess, an E and a negative. And so what you see here, over here, kind of this convention that we have here, is in the top right corner is where we're putting the charge. And we're actually going to see that a lot more when we start looking at ions. But to kind of just to summarize real quick, for any atom in the nucleus is where you're going to find the protons, P+, and neutrons, N0, N0. And then out circling around it will be the electrons. E negative, E negative. And so it happens, so just in case of curiosity, so this one that I just annotated here, we can take this a step farther. Protons, 1, 2. So 2 protons. How many neutrons? 1, 2. 2 neutrons. And then 2 electrons. 2 protons, 2 neutrons, and 2 electrons. So 2 protons, we looked that up on the periodic table. Atomic number of 2 tells us that it's helium. 2 neutrons, so 2 for the protons, atomic number, and then the atomic mass, the mass number, protons plus neutrons, 4. So I kind of backed into giving you an example of helium. Protons and neutrons in the nucleus, electrons to the outside.